Hello, I am Robert Baug. You are currently watching a video about proper nutrition and health. In today's video, I will tell you what is best to consume at each meal and what interval should be between them. Watch the video until the end, and you will get answers to these questions. Please like and comment if the video has been helpful to you. Let's start our discussion of each meal separately from a scientific standpoint. The most important rule is that each meal should contain all three macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. The question is in what proportions? Let's begin with breakfast. Many people skip this most crucial meal, saving precious time or due to lack of appetite. The main rule is, if you wake up and don't feel hungry, it means you had a late dinner. Many people underestimate the losses we incur by skipping breakfast. Especially if you want to lose weight, you shouldn't skip breakfast. When is the best time for breakfast? It is individual, depending on the body's characteristics and waking time. The classic general rule says that we should have breakfast within an hour to an hour and a half after waking up. Remember the main rule: on an empty stomach, we drink 1 or 2 glasses of warm water, and after 40 to 45 minutes, you can start breakfast. The first meal triggers metabolic processes in the body and the work of the digestive tract. Properly balanced nutrition during breakfast is the key to feeling great throughout the day. If you lead an active lifestyle, then breakfast is essential. The 3 most important components of a healthy breakfast are fiber, from vegetables and greens, healthy fats, plant oils, nuts, seeds, avocado, and proteins, plant-based or animal-based. Among traditional breakfast options, various cereals or dry breakfasts containing many fast carbohydrates are often included. Avoid such options. How to avoid sausages for breakfast, sweet pastries, cake, and cappuccino. Just understand that breakfast should not consist solely of carbohydrates, especially fast ones. Remember this: an ideal breakfast could be an omelette with coconut milk and spinach, accompanied by an additional portion of vegetables with greens, dressed with olive oil and topped with seeds. Lunch is a very important meal that allows improving well-being and boosting mood by 35 to 40% of the daily calorie intake. Approximately 35 to 40% of the daily calories should be attributed to lunch. Skipping lunch leads to activating an economical mode in the body, where food reserves are stored for future use, which can result in the accumulation of fat deposits. Missing lunch can deprive you of the ability to control the evening meal, which should contain half the calories of the daytime meal. It's also essential to monitor the interval between meals. It's better if the break between breakfast and lunch is at least 4 hours. Feeling hungry earlier may indicate a lack of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. When lunch will be ideal, it should contain proteins, complex carbohydrates, and plant-based foods that are sources of fiber. But let's return to our soups. These can be vegetable-pured soups, but remember not to blend the vegetables too much to preserve the fiber. Soups based on bone broth are also possible. I want to draw your attention to the bone broth specifically. We don't boil meat to make the broth. Lunch should definitely include not only cereals and fast food pasta or coffee with a bun. What could an ideal lunch look like? It could be chicken bone broth with vegetables and cilantro, as well as white fish with roasted vegetables such as pumpkin, beetroot, or sweet pepper. Such a meal will contain all 3 main macronutrients. The broth will provide proteins, the fish will provide amino acids, and the starchy vegetables and cilantro will provide carbohydrates. Let's move on to dinner. What should you eat for dinner? Ideally, dinner is the lightest meal, accounting for only 25% of the daily calorie intake. Of course, it should also contain all 3 main macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, but in a lower calorie amount. As a source of protein for dinner, we choose easily digestible sources such as fish, seafood, quail eggs, or in extreme cases, poultry. We don't eat meat for dinner if our diet includes meat and fish. We aim to consume meat for lunch and fish for dinner. If you want to lose weight, avoid grains for dinner and use only vegetables. In case of insulin resistance, opt for non-starchy vegetables. Pay attention: if you have gastrointestinal issues, eat cooked vegetables and cheese for dinner. If, on the other hand, you have weight or sleep problems, you can include grains and starchy vegetables. As a source of fats, we choose unrefined oils and seeds. What should not be included in dinner are bread, pasta, and baked goods. An ideal dinner could be white fish fillet with mashed colored cabbage, along with an additional portion of vegetables and greens, drizzled with olive oil and topped with seeds. Remember that dinner should be consumed no later than 3 to 4 hours before sleep. During the night, the body needs to recover, not digest food. How much time should be between meals? Any food we consume affects the production of enzymes and hormones in the body. Our primary concern is the hormone insulin from the pancreas. It's necessary for the body to lower blood sugar levels and to synthesize fatty acids while inhibiting the breakdown of fatty acids. Therefore, it's important to consistently maintain a balanced interval between meals, allowing glucose and insulin levels to decrease. Typically, this happens within a period of 3.5 to 4 hours between meals. If you constantly snack, have tea with a bun, candy, and don't eat fruits an hour or two after a meal, it hampers the return of your insulin and blood sugar levels to normal. Even if these intervals between meals seem challenging, they may indicate carbohydrate metabolism disruptions. Here, it's crucial to closely examine your diet. Are you not overindulging in carbohydrates in general? In general, a person should feel good, even if the interval between meals is 6 hours. It's important to follow the golden rule: the interval between dinner and breakfast should be at least 12 hours. Thus, if you have breakfast at 8 in the morning, dinner should be no later than 8 in the evening. And it's extremely important to remember the golden rule of organism recovery: you should go to bed by 11 in the evening. If you don't adhere to this rule, don't expect significant results from changing your diet. Subscribe to our channel to learn more secrets of healthy eating and recipes you can prepare at home.